All right, here we go. Mace Loaded, episode 4. We took the holiday off that Monday, and we're a little late this week, but we're ready to roll. How are y'all doing this week?
Good. I'm excited. Football, it's in the swing of things. I'm ready.
What are you ready for?
Football.
More football?
More football.
Okay.
And football.
It's great analysis right there.
Thank you. I tried. I worked on that all week.
What about you, Mace the Third? Anything interesting happen?
Nothing interesting. I noticed in Forbes magazine. Did you see the top programs? One, two, three.
Yeah, didn't A&M surpass UT as the most valuable?
Yeah, it was A&M, Texas, and Michigan. But I guess that goes to tell you that money doesn't buy championships, does it? Because between those three national champions, there have been one in this century, and conference champions, Michigan has won outright.
Wait, Michigan doesn't have a championship in the last century?
No.
What? That can't be right.
And since the start of the 21st century.
The turn. So okay.
The turn of the century,
gotcha.
which still it's been a while, right? Yeah, it's been a while since
Yeah, it's been almost 2 decades.
Yeah, 2 decades, and
it's getting too complicated for me.
Since and just conference champions between those three, Michigan's only won 1 outright. Texas has won 2 outright, and A&M a big 0. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
It's those colors, man. He doesn't like those colors.
Where did A&M come from, though? I didn't even realize they were in the top 10 of most valuable. They've
been fairly valuable. They've come up recently with all the they got the money too.
Yeah, I guess it's just their market. It seems so small. I mean, College Station, I guess they've got Houston is pretty close to College Station, so that's a big market. But
right, but it just goes to show you.
Are you sad that A&M has beat UT in something else now, or?
Yeah, look, it put a little fire under my rear end. That's for sure. I hope it put a little fire under everybody else's rear end that are down there at the 40 acres. I hope they're paying attention because they do. I got to admit, they got it going right now. That game was awesome.
Have you ever seen so much praise for a team that lost before?
I know. They almost give them the national championship. Right? Dang, they're Aggies, so they'll mess it up.
I mean, the people say the same thing about the Longhorns now.
That's probably true.
All right, let's start with what we're drinking today, or what we got on this Wednesday evening. Mace the Fourth, what do you have?
All right, I'm going with this beer that's called Arrogant Bastard Ale. Arrogant
Bastard Ale. It looks like the devil is on the front there. That's
what it's showing. Yeah.
This is
even at the bottom it says you're not worthy. That's what it says at the bottom.
Well,
now, I know you like the things on the back of the beer, so I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to show you.
Wow, that's a long story.
Okay, so I'm just going to read the first line. You ready? This is an aggressive beer. You probably won't like it. It's quite doubtful that you even have the taste or sophistication to be able to appreciate an ale of this quality and depth. It's like, whoa, okay. But it goes into a lot of it. It's got sex appeal. That's what it says here. I don't know, but it's an ale, so I mean it's good.
I don't like my beers like being disrespectful to me, so I'm probably not gonna drink it. I'm gonna take their advice and not drink that beer.
It's brewed and bottled in 2 locations: Escondido, California, and Richmond, Virginia.
2 locations.
That's what it says here on the bottle. It just says at the bottom, "You're not worthy." So
I guess not. I won't drink it then. It clearly doesn't want me to drink it. I don't know. I'm not sure about that marketing campaign. It's like Grudy's, right? The worst barbecue in Texas.
Yeah. But it's good. I like it, honestly.
Is it good? It's a big beer. It looks big.
It's huge, but it's good.
It even makes your hands look normal size. That's.
What are you trying to say? My hands are not.
You have huge hands.
It's a good beer.
All right, Mace Third. What are you drinking? Is that a tea?
It looks like a
Green tea,
doesn't it? Green tea. It's a session sour. I think you had a sour week one, didn't you, or something?
Yeah.
So you like sours?
I do. At first they're kind of like ugh, but then you keep drinking it and you start to like it.
Well, this says it's good with
it's dogfish.
There it is right there, and it says it's good with seafood. So when you're eating seafood,
is there a storm?
Oh well.
Oh God.
We might have some.
You got to get to the storm cellar. Is that a tornado?
Yeah, honey, is everything okay down there?
Are we all good?
I think there's a tornado coming.
Yeah, but anyway, it's Sea Quench Ale. It's a session sour. It's out of Delaware, and it's from you probably heard it, Dogfish Head.
Yeah,
you've heard that company.
Yeah,
they're good. Yeah. Actually, Angels has it on, not that one, but they have Dogfish on tap.
But it's good. I can see how it might be good with some fried seafood or something like that.
I mean, what beer is not good with fried seafood? Dude? If I was designing a beer, I would say it's good with fried seafood because they're all good with fried seafood.
Good point.
Except for maybe like really, really, really dark beers or something like that. Well, I'm drinking. I'm having.
So not all beer's good.
What? What'd you say to me?
So not all beer goes. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted.
Thank you. You don't have the floor right now. I do.
Well, it's because I'm drinking this arrogant.
Yeah, clearly that arrogant bastard ale makes the person drinking it an arrogant bastard. I mean, is that on the bottle too?
Well, it might be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You might have to leave the show today. I mean, if we're getting off the start off like this, I don't know how this is going to work today.
My apologies.
Thank you. I'll accept your apology. So I am drinking one of my go-tos. Actually, work's been pretty rough this week, so I went to the liquor on this Wednesday evening.
Gin and tonic?
No, I got Tito's. Tito's and Sprite. So Tito's is probably my favorite vodka. So good Austin vodka too. I think it's still in Austin, right? One of them sold. One of the Deep Eddy sold,
Deep
right?
Eddy, yeah, Deep Eddy sold.
I think Tito is still in Austin and still owned by an Austinite. But yeah, it's really good. I always chug it down pretty fast. I usually do it with water, but I have Sprite now. Make it a little bit sweeter, and get that lime flavor. But everybody know if you know me, you know I go straight Tito's in water all the time. All right, so 2 weeks into the football season, 1 week into the NFL season. We'll start with college football, though. And Mace the Third, I'll start with you. So we were 2 weeks in. We've got to see a lot of games, a lot of different matchups, good matchups, some surprises. But what are some of you can give me a few, some of the most impressive teams you've seen so far?
I got two that come to mind. One is Sparky, Arizona State.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, that was
Herm
good.
Edwards, And the other one, it's Alabama in their offense. I mean,
God,
Jesus
good surprise
Christ.
pick with Alabama.
Well,
okay,
but they have an offense that they did before. They had a quarterback just kind of controlled the game and did enough to win. Right now, they got a leader back there that can actually score some touchdowns and throw some touchdowns, and so that's scary. But Arizona State is my most impressive. And do you want to go most disappointing? Want to go?
We'll come back to those because I think we've got a few of those.
Yeah, I got one.
Mace the fourth. Y'all are confusing me. Mace the fourth.
Yeah, I've got two. Yeah, I like Notre Dame, and then I like Mississippi State. Just the way they've been playing, the way they've been looking, I really do. That quarterback, I think he was out the first game, back the second game. They looked really good against Kansas State.
Yeah, I picked Kansas State. That was a brutal pick.
I picked Mississippi State. And then I'm going to just throw a third one there for fun. I think Auburn looks really good too. So it'd be fun to see that battle with Auburn, Alabama. But that's what I like.
Big game this weekend, Auburn LSU. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, talk about that later.
So most impressive teams to me, first and foremost, I agree. Arizona State, like what the hell? Where'd they come from? Herm Edwards.
Everybody was laughing at that.
Yeah, right? I don't know what he's doing, but I don't know if that's something that's like he's just pumping. He's a very good motivator. I don't know if he's a great X's and O's coach, but sometimes you don't need that in college. You just need to get those kids motivated. And I mean,
play to win the game. Hello.
and he's winning the games, man. So yeah, obviously I'm impressed with them. OU too. OU looks really good. They may. I don't know. I mean, UCLA. The Big 12 in general has been a disappointment. Honestly, I'm kind of not impressed with the Big 12 at this point. But OU is a bright spot because they looked really good against UCLA. UCLA is probably pretty bad this year, but they made UCLA look like a subpar FBS team. So I think they look really good. Mace of the Forest pick Stanford looks good. There's been some impressive teams coming up, but LSU. Oh yeah, and LSU. I forgot that was another one. LSU looks good. To your Auburn point, Auburn looks good, but I think LSU is more surprising. I'm not sure if a lot of people had them looking so good so early, but it'll be a big test early on playing Auburn. All right, now I know you wanted to get to this. Mace the third. So your most disappointing teams over the first couple weeks.
Well, Texas is one, right?
They won last week, 1-1.
I know, but over you had to stay up and like, oh God, don't lose, and you can't do that against Tulsa.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And the other one, it just kind of shocked me is Arizona. I thought they just looked terrible, and supposedly he's got a loaded team and. Well, not loaded, but good athletes, and he has a great quarterback, right?
Well,
so Kevin Sumlin, I mean, you kind of feel bad for him, but maybe he'll, it's his first year, and maybe he'll get it turned around. But, man, they just look awful.
Yeah, and that quarterback was a Heisman pick for a lot of people out there, and he's not looking like it. And another team we probably should have mentioned that are impressive is Houston, but Houston made them look like a joke. Yeah, I agree. That's a pretty big disappointment for a team that seemed to be hyped up to begin the year. Mace the fourth. What about you?
So I got 3. I was looking at. I mean,
3? You're really disappointed.
Yeah, not necessarily. I shouldn't say all these are disappointed. I just saying that I was expecting better.
Wait, are you drinking a Smirnoff now?
Yeah, it's Smirnoff Ice.
He just got iced. Got iced.
You just iced yourself? You're supposed to ice other people.
Yeah, what are you doing? So first, Florida State was one that came to mind.
Good one, yeah.
Anyways, I mean, if you watch the game, you would understand. Miami, I know maybe Miami. That's why I say not all are going to be terrible. I think they could turn it around. They just didn't look good at the first game. Second week, of course, they played Savannah State and put up 77 points. Mm-hmm. But and then I'll just stick with this one because I was going to say USC, but that's good. Michigan State, who I picked to be a sleeper too, just looked like I was like, what the hell, Yeah. But I just wanted to throw them in there too because it's kind of disappointing the way they've started out. But who knows? Long season, maybe they can get to a point where they can make a decent bowl game. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think the obvious one that jumps out at me as disappointing is definitely Michigan State. I agree. Like they pretty much should have lost to Utah State in week 1, and then they get beat this week by a team they should have beat, or they should be better than. And another one, I think Florida State's a good one too. They look really really bad. Willie Taggart, I mean, they are supposed to have a high-flying offense, and Willie Taggart, I get there's going to be a transition, but it shouldn't be that much of a transition, especially with, like, a veteran quarterback. Texas, I don't know. I would say I'm disappointed in Texas, but it's kind of what I expect every year now. So
that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
I think
I'm more disappointed. I'm more disappointed almost in that Tulsa game, though, aren't you? I mean, you would think they would bounce back. I mean, I'm hearing, okay, Maryland's better than we thought they might have been, and
we thought Maryland was better than we thought they were last year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway.
No, I see your point on that though. You come back, you bounce back. You're playing Tulsa, which Tulsa is a decent team, but
at home,
you're at home. You start out real hot, and then you get to the second half, and you let them come back. You let them catch up. You let them get the momentum. You let them run onto your field. And make them feel like, hey, it's just Texas. That's the attitude I think people are saying now. It's like, It's just Texas. I mean, they are right now where they're at. It's Texas, and it used to be, damn, we're about to go play in Texas Stadium. Well,
it used to be like how many points I would come home disappointed with my dad if we lost by more than 21. We won by more than 21 points or something like that. I'd be disappointed if we didn't win by more than 21 points, I should say. And now, man, you're just hoping a win. You're just praying for a win.
Yeah, not used to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that just goes to show you where Texas football is right now. But going back to disappointing teams, another one was Florida. They lost to Kentucky last week.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that game.
Kentucky's a good team, though.
And I should say that I should be disappointed in myself too, because I had a really bad pick week last week. I think I picked way too many upsets. I picked Florida, I picked South Carolina, and I picked Kansas State.
You picked South Carolina over Georgia?
Yeah, they got crushed.
Yeah, not even close.
Another disappointing one is Arkansas. They lost to your early pick, Colorado State. Did you see that? They lost to Colorado State last week.
Only Colorado State would have beat Colorado, made me look better.
But Colorado State got crushed by Colorado.
I know. Yeah.
So, I mean, I know they got a new coach in Arkansas, Chad Morris, who was at SMU.
I like him though.
You can't lose to Colorado State.
No,
they're not that good.
No.
That was a brutal loss. But to your Texas point, who would have thought that the biggest game in Texas next week would be TCU Ohio State, not USC Texas?
Yeah, exactly.
Both USC and Texas are 1-1. The premier game isn't in Austin; it's in Dallas. When you got Ohio State and TCU, it's just so weird, the dynamic now that UT is not the premier. What's going on?
Nothing. We're good.
What are y'all looking at?
Connie came up. Hi, Connie.
Hey.
We can hear that.
Picking up his friend.
She's cleaning her room.
Oh, I wish I can get that service. All right, so that kind of goes into our next topic, the games you're excited about in week 2. So the one I'm most excited about is TCU Ohio State, because I think the Big 12 really needs TCU to win that game. The Big 12 came out really bad the first couple weeks. I mean, with Iowa State losing to Iowa, Texas losing to Maryland, and barely beating Tulsa. Kansas is Kansas. They're awful. Kansas State almost lost to a FCS school and got crushed by Mississippi State. I mean, the Big 12 really needs a big win, and that would be a huge win if TCU could pull off the upset against Ohio State. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think they can do it. I think they play the kind of football. They almost kind of play like a hybrid Big 10, Big 12 style football. So I think if any team's going to be able to do it this year, it might be TCU.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
What about you, Mace the Third? What any games you're looking forward to?
That one's. I'm looking forward to that one mostly.
We talked about Auburn LSU. What do you think about that game?
Well, I was thinking about Alabama Ole Miss.
You think that'll be a good game?
Well, the last couple, who's beat Alabama more than anybody the last 3 or 4 years? It's Ole Miss. You're right. I know their defense, their offense is one of the best, but their defense is terrible. So their defense is. It's at the Grove. It's at Ole Miss. I'm looking forward to see. What I'm looking forward to see is how good Alabama is, and that'll give me a judgment on them right there.
I don't think Ole Miss is that good.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will. We will see. I think Alabama will crush them. I don't.
Well, no, I agree. Alabama's going to beat them, but I don't know. They've struggled with Ole Miss, and we've said that before. Ole Miss isn't that good, and they beat Alabama. So
when have we said that? They were good.
I said it, but I mean, who picked Ole Miss to beat Alabama?
When?
The 2 years they beat them. The last 4 years they've won 2 games.
Oh, I did. I picked them.
Oh,
I picked them those years.
Oh, God. So I'm just,
That's not funny. See. I did.
But, yes, it'd be a good game to watch.
All right, Mace the 4th. Any games that pop out at you that we need to watch?
I got 3.
You got 3? Man, you gotta watch a lot of football.
I really want to watch Boise State and Oklahoma State.
Ooh, I think that was one of mine. That was good.
I think that's a really good. To me, I think it's just going to be a high scoring game. Intense. Of course, TCU, Ohio State. I agree with you on that. If TCU can somehow, which I think they're going to be able to compete, but if they come out on top on this, they're looking good. And then Auburn, LSU. It's at Auburn. I was kind of leaning LSU, but I'm looking to see Auburn on that one.
I think Auburn.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Auburn on that one. But I think that'd be a game to watch for sure.
I think
because LSU upset them last year, right? Was that last year?
I don't recall. Oh, yeah. I don't want to be put on the spot like that. But the LSU Auburn game, I think they're pretty comparable teams. I think the big differentiator in that game is Jarrett Stidham. I think Auburn has a better quarterback, and I think that'll be the difference maker right there. Factor. I'm glad you brought up Oklahoma State, Boise State, because I think that because I keep forgetting about Oklahoma State. I mean, they've looked pretty good the first couple weeks, but this will be it's one of those games that you determine, okay, this is a real team, or this they've been playing cupcakes.
Boise State, I think, is ranked 17th. Oklahoma's coming in at 24. So
Oklahoma State.
A big win. I'm sorry, Oklahoma State. Yeah, coming in at 24. That'd be a big win for them.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. That's a good one to pick. I think that's a good game, and it'll be a fun game. Most of the teams are fun to watch.
Their offenses are for sure.
All right. So something we haven't done yet, but so I gave y'all a couple weeks to see some teams before we made our Final Four predictions in the college football playoff. So what do you think? Do you have 4 teams right now? Like, if you had to vote, here we could do it a couple ways, and I'll let y'all decide how you want to do it. Do you want to say who are the 4 teams in right now, or do you want to predict who the 4 teams will be at the end of the year?
I want to predict who are the 4 teams will be in the year, because mine is pretty crazy.
Oh, okay.
All right, end of the year, I guess, yeah.
All right, let's do that. Mace the 4th. Okay, you looks like you're pretty excited. You're actually prepared, and you want to say something.
I am. So my first 2 are Bama and Georgia, which I just, of course, Bama, Georgia. Georgia just looks really good this year. That we were watching the game, and Mace the 3rd goes, "That guy's fast. That whole team's fast."
I kept saying that guy's fast.
Like, how do you stop that? I mean, they're all fast. The defense looks good, but. And then I have Notre Dame. And then I have if they pull it off this weekend, I have TCU. If they pull it off this weekend.
No, there's no ifs. Do you that means you think they're going to pull it off this weekend?
I do. I mean, I'm picking them because I think they're going to pull it off. I do.
You pick West Virginia to win the Big 12. So you're saying West Virginia's going to win the Big 12 and TCU's going to get in.
Yeah, I changed. Yeah, I could say TCU. I should go back and say TCU is going to win the Big 12.
So now you think TCU is going to win after watching them a couple weeks?
He's seen a couple.
I've seen a couple.
What? But why downgrade West Virginia? They've looked good.
Well, they do look good, but they don't have TCU's defense. To me, is one that's looking really, really solid.
That's fair.
I know. I know you shouldn't change picks, but I'm changing my pick now to TCU winning the Big 12. And going to the Final Four. Technically,
right, let's say they both make the Big 12 championship and they both have 1 loss, or TCU. Let's say TCU has 0 losses and West Virginia has 1 loss. It was to TCU. Let's say that,
right.
And then West Virginia beats, or let's say West Virginia has 2 losses That'll make it easier. West Virginia beats TCU, so TCU has one loss, but they didn't win the Big 12. They could still get in the Final Four. It's very simple.
You're right.
It's
Yeah,
exactly.
No, it
It's
It could happen,
it's very similar to what happened to Alabama, right?
Yeah,
Alabama
no,
didn't even make.
but it's TCU. It's not Alabama.
I'm just saying it's not out of the realm to say one
Yeah,
team
it's
will
out
not
of
win
the
their
realm.
division.
He's making me look better since I said something. And then did it again. But I want to change it now. I know you're not supposed to change during the season, but my pick now to win the Big 12 after watching these couple. Don't get me wrong. I think the quarterback at West Virginia is going to do great things, and they're going to be good. But just watching TCU.
So is this something you're going to do every week? Or are you going to change your pick for champion every week? Or
Most likely, if it makes me look better, for sure.
do you think that makes you look better?
Yes, because I'm always winning.
Okay. All right, Mace the Third. After that nonsense, I need to move on.
Well, I'm just going to go chalk on this. I'm going to go Bama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State.
God, that's so boring. That is so boring.
Well, I
going-
did put UCF in there when we were talking about last week when we were just kind of talking, but everybody's telling me there's no way that could happen. So if there's, if they're not even giving them a chance, then anyway. Okay, so do you got mine?
Yeah, you've got Bama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State.
That's it.
So you have the AP top 4 right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude,
yeah, if that's what it is, that's who I have.
Are you going to change yours next week too when you see the
No,
new top 4?
no.
I mean, I don't know what
No,
y'all are doing over there, but
I'm not changing mine. Why would you change that?
I just made one change that I saw watching football. Okay,
I
it's
didn't
early
change
in the
anything.
season.
This is the first. This is the taping of episode 4, right?
yeah.
So I haven't changed anything.
I didn't say you changed anything. But
Oh, I thought you said are y'all going to change everything. Don't put me y'all in there when
He's
What?
talking about me.
Well, I was talking to both of y'all because it looks like you might have just looked at the top 4 right now on the AP right before the show.
He has his phone open right now, and he's
Well,
looking at the top 4.
Clemson's definitely. Who does Clemson have left to play? Really?
Miami.
You know?
Whoa,
Please, come
God,
on.
okay.
Florida
And
State.
Bama, you got to
Florida
put Bama in there, and Ohio State's been looking
God
really
forbid we don't put Bama in there. Oh my God.
good. I know, right?
So
Well,
I kind of want to hear your picks now. Obviously,
Yeah.
you probably don't have Bama in there.
I
Let's
don't.
see.
I don't have Bama in there.
Oh, God. Come on.
I don't. I didn't pick. I understand. I'm sticking with my.
Drinking that hard stuff. That's
Yeah,
right.
he's got Tito's running
Yeah,
through his
Tito's.
veins right now.
You
I
need
just
to go back to the beer, dude.
I just remember my picks from our first episode or our first couple episodes, and I don't have Alabama winning the SEC. I have Auburn, so I have Auburn in there, who probably was a better team last year. Who obviously was a better team because they beat Alabama. I have Auburn. I have OU. Boomer Sooner. They're gonna get in because
They lost their running back.
they did lose their running back. That is a very good point. They did.
You want to change your mind?
Yeah, do
No.
you want to change your pick?
No,
Okay.
because I think they're loaded at running back. Their other backup running back still a solid running back. Because I watched that game and he came in and there was like no difference. So I've got Auburn, OU, Penn State. And,
He's changing. He's changing.
And
He's changing. He's changing. Hey, look at he wants to change something.
I guess and Clemson. So
Yeah, you got to throw Clemson in there.
the only reason I was hesitant to say Clemson because I'm doing exactly what I told Mace the Fourth not to do because I picked Miami to win the ACC.
I knew it. Something was totally off. I could tell by him, and now it makes. That's what I witnessed it right there. He
Well,
was like, "I can't
yeah.
do this."
But now that we're 2 weeks in,
But you can. It's okay to change. It's okay to change.
no. But that's it. So I've got Clemson, OU, Auburn, and Penn State. So that means I only have. No, I got 2 of the 4 last year that were in there, Clemson and OU. But the Penn State one is they looked better last week, but they looked pretty bad week 1.
It's week 1.
Yeah. All right. So So I've gotten feedback that from some people that they want us to pick the spread more. Apparently, some people made some money off our picks that 1 week, so they wanted us to do more spread. Even though Mace the Third told everybody to bet the house on FAU.
Yeah, but I did tell them the West Virginia game.
Yeah, there was a couple that
and there were some people won some money off that, I think.
I might have to learn more on this. I mean, I know spreads, but the betting, I don't want to tell people, and then someone shows up at my house and be like, "What did you do?"
We don't endorse. It's your money. Do what you want with it.
Yeah, you do. Let's make that clear. We're just giving a suggestion.
Yeah, it's just what we think. Looking at the Vegas pick, we're not getting paid by anybody or anything like that. Trust me, no one wants to pay for us. But Mace the Third, you're usually pretty up to date on the betting spread. So let's start with you.
Well, God, it totally pains me to give this. Oh my! I don't even know if I can do it. But oh man. Is Texas a 3-point favorite?
3.5, I think.
3.5 point favorite? I think they are.
Yeah. As of right now.
So, man, you got, I don't know. I hadn't seen enough from Texas to justify. I would take that bet.
So you're saying bet on Southern Cal?
Yeah, I would.
And, hey, that's
Why?
That's hard for him to say, though. That's hard for him to say. Trust me.
Why do you think they're giving them 3.5 points? Is it because Texas is at home? Is that the only?
I may be totally wrong, but after probably watching them play how they did against Stanford and just I don't know, and Texas at home, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but Stanford's a solid team, and that was at Stanford. The only thing is, I mean, they do have a freshman quarterback, right?
Yeah. We kind of do, too. I was a second. Yeah, but I mean, we got a new quarterback.
You don't have a freshman quarterback.
Well, it's not a freshman, but
he might play like a freshman. He might play like a freshman.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a quarterback right now. We're struggling on who it is.
I kind of skipped over that game. I guess I didn't realize Texas was 3.5 point favorite. So I think that's a good. I would agree with that. I would agree with your assessment that.
And my second one is. TCU is a 14-point dog to Ohio State. So
it's down to 13.5.
Okay, 13.5.
So a little bit of money went to TCU then. So they must have agreed with you on that one.
And then my third one, if you'll give me a third one, is, and you'll probably dog me on this one, but Alabama and Ole Miss, 22. I'm showing 22 points. That's a lot of points.
So they're giving Ole Miss 22 points?
Right.
That's a lot of points for an SEC game.
Yeah.
But
Ole Miss defense looked terrible, though.
Vegas must agree with me and think that Ole Miss is just they're a sham right now. Like, they're not that good. But
we'll see. Did they play?
I would probably.
They played Tech.
They played
Did
Tech.
They play Tech.
They played Tech, and they played some nobody week 2.
And they beat Tech pretty bad, right? Like 40-20 or 40.
Yeah. We don't really know what Tech is. Tech is probably pretty bad this year. But I would probably stay away from that game if it was me. I think Ole Miss is bad, but I could be wrong.
You like the TCU one?
The TCU one's interesting. I think they might have that spread right. I'm kind of pulling for TCU to win that game. I think that might be a Big 12 homer of me to pull for that game. I think they might have that one right. I think Ohio State might be 14 points better, but a little bit of the money went to TCU, so to drop that spread down. So 14 is I don't know. I think that spread might be right. I think that might be right.
And I just want to ask you about another one while we're talking real quick. Boise State and Oklahoma State. They got Oklahoma State as
that's like a toss-up game, right?
3-point favorite. What do you think about that?
I think if you want to bet that game, you just bet on who you think is going to win, right? So if you think Ohio State or Oklahoma State's going to win, then bet on them. I don't. In those kind of games, you bet on the winner. You don't bet on Boise State losing by 2. You know.
Right.
Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You bet on who you think is going to win. I didn't have that one listed. I don't like those games. I like.
No, I was just curious. I don't have that one either to bet on. I was just curious what you thought on that one.
I think that spreads. I think that's going to be a really close game. I think
the Texas one is the one that I'm picking to. Unfortunately,
that one you like the close spreads. So you kind of like the toss-ups. Like
I did give you that one on Alabama. 22. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, it's 3 touchdowns. It's over 3 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, and Nick Saban's not one to run up. Well, he doesn't. Does he really run up the score at the end?
Yeah, he will.
Does he?
He will run up the score and then go to your mom and put her in debt for the rest of her life if he could do that.
Well, I guess with the new quarterback he can, but.
All right, Mace the Fourth. Do you have any?
Well, all mine are taken, but
oh, sorry about that.
I'm going to throw this because I'm just going to go from Waco, Texas. I'm just going to throw it out there. Baylor's going to cover that spread against Duke.
6. Oh,
Baylor's going to cover. Spread's at 6 now.
Yeah,
well, I got 6.5. Is that?
I'm saying Baylor's going to turn it around against Duke. I think we're going to see something.
So they're giving Duke 6 points.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but. No,
yeah, you're right.
Baylor.
Baylor. Yeah, Baylor.
So you're saying they're going to win by more than 6?
Yes, I do. I know that's a stretch, but I do. I believe it. I believe it.
Who did Duke play last week?
They played.
So they beat Northwestern, who's a decent team, but
they did beat.
They lost their quarterback, Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they lost. He was a really good quarterback. They lost him for at least a few games. And they lost their best cornerback as well for the rest of the season. So and Baylor's completely healthy going into that game.
And Charlie Brewer, which I hope they start him. I hope they play him.
So Matt Rule, obviously, the one team I know the most about is Baylor, but Matt Rule said they're going to rotate quarterbacks again for this game.
I didn't think that, but
yeah,
I'm going to go with it. No, you don't have to bet on it. Again, it's just a suggestion out there, people. Okay.
That's huge if they lost their quarterback.
Yeah, I'm saying they're going to cover it. Or they're going to win more by 6.
They're going to buy over a touchdown.
Yes.
Do you have any other one, or is that it?
Nah, that's it, because all my other ones are taken.
Okay. I've got a few. And y'all can let me know what you think about these. But first one is Arizona State. At San Diego. I guess it's at San Diego. But they are only a 3-point. They're only giving San Diego 3 points. San Diego State. I feel like that's an easy. Is there something I don't know? Like, you got to put the money on Arizona State there, right? I mean, they just beat Michigan State.
Wait, say that again. They're giving San Diego State.
So it's Arizona State -3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Who have they played? Who have they played?
San Diego State. They lost to Stanford. I know that. And they kept it somewhat close to Stanford. But let me see what their score was. So they lost to Stanford 31-10, and they have one win. It's against Sacramento State.
Right.
28-14.
Yeah, Arizona. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Arizona State's going to get more than.
I'm thinking about putting my own money on that one.
Yeah.
So that was one. I think that one, if you're interested, if you bet on that and you lose, just email Mace. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was about whoa.
Another one was Washington at Utah. They have Washington at -6.5. Unless it changed, I'll double check it here. Yeah, still at -6.5. I think Washington's better than Utah, and I think they're better than by more than a touchdown. Yeah. I think they're getting knocked for losing that opening game against Auburn. But it's not like Utah has played great teams and looked really good out of the gate. So I think that's another one. Washington to beat Utah by more than 6.5. Any qualms about that one?
No, I like that.
I have 3 more. There were a lot of games I thought were good betting opportunities this one. BYU at Wisconsin.
Oh, that's a good one. That's too much. You're going to say that's too much, right?
Yes. I think Wisconsin, they're giving BYU 21.5 points.
No.
Wisconsin's
That's a lot
I think one of y'all picked Wisconsin to win the Big Ten, right? It was you, Mace the third, right?
Yeah.
I've been impressed with them. They play Wisconsin. They play the same way every year, but they're never going to throw up a ton of points on you. That's just not how they play.
Well, BYU is not a terrible team.
They're not a pushover. Yeah,
they can score. So
they've got like 26-year-old men on their team. From the Mormons are coming back from their mission trips, so they're never.
Good point. Yeah, that's too much on the spread, I think.
All right, I have two more.
Damn.
I know. Vanderbilt at Notre Dame. They have Notre Dame minus 13. So this was one of my questionable ones. Notre Dame looked really bad against Ball State last week. But I mean, Vanderbilt looks pretty bad. And it looks like the money it's actually at minus 14 right now. And
you're saying they're gonna cover that?
Yeah, some casinos have them at 14.5 now. So the money's going to Notre Dame. So I think people agree with me on that Notre Dame will cover that.
I agree.
And the last one I have is Miami at Toledo.
That's a lot too, isn't it?
No, so it's not enough. Oh, the money. Okay, so the money's going towards Miami. It opened up at a minus 9.5 Toledo. So they were minus 9.5 Miami. So they were giving Toledo 9.5 points, but now it's up to 11. So I might be more cautious on that one now. If I could have got it at minus 9.5, I would have done that.
Like I said, Miami. I would go with them covering that.
Toledo's not. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They got a good offense, right?
Yeah.
I don't know much about Toledo. That was my least likely to bet, but I saw that spread and just thought, okay, 9.5, I would do that. Now that's at 11. Once you start getting above 10, I start to question it a little bit, especially for Toledo. But it looks like the money went to Miami. So,
yeah.
So those are mine. Any qualms with any of those?
No.
Toledo does have 603 total yards through 2 games so far.
Who'd they play? Do you know who they played? Or are you just looking at stats and you have no idea what you're talking about?
I'm just saying.
They played VMI and
VMI. What is VMI?
Here, it's right here. Well, they
just played one game, right?
Yeah, it looks like they have only played one game.
Yeah, one game.
They beat VMI 66-3.
That's why they got 603 yards.
Well, you score 66 points on
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who the heck is VMI?
Virginia.
They're the VMI cadets?
Yes.
I don't know.
Who is this?
It's a new football program.
They must be an FCS team. Yeah. It looks like they're an FCS team.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, well.
I think it's Virginia Military Institute, to tell you the truth, if I remember right. I could be wrong.
That's impressive that you remember that.
I could be wrong.
All right, moving on to the NFL. Man, that took a while, that segment.
Yeah.
Because of you.
Yeah.
It took me. Why? What did I do? We got plenty of time.
Okay.
NFL week uno. Did you watch any games? I was actually on the road driving back from San Antonio, so I didn't get to watch a whole lot of games. I was just checking my fantasy the whole time. But any games that you watched and you thought, what the heck is going on here? Mace the Third, what about you?
I didn't watch too many. I did watch the Texans, and they disappointed me. Fantasy court.
They hung in there with fantasy-wise. They disappointed you, or
they caught up at the end, kind of a little bit, but they were never really in the game. I don't think. I watched that game, the Browns and Pittsburgh. That was a unique game, right?
Only the Browns can stop a losing streak by not winning.
Tying, yeah. God.
But,
Browns are gonna brown.
hey, they're halfway there, right? Halfway to a win, right? Yeah, that's halfway to a win.
You've got to be very disappointed if you're a Steelers fan to come out and tie to the Browns.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And then the Cowboys,
Yeah, they didn't look good.
The Cowboys look really bad. I think somebody on this panel picked the Cowboys to win the NFC East. Are you still feeling okay about that pick?
I'm good with it. I'm still good with
I
it.
picked the Giants to win that, and they lost.
Yeah. You know who looked good in the NFC East? None of us picked was the Redskins.
I know.
They do look good. I'll go ahead and say, you know what game was shocked me, which is actually fun to watch, which I didn't think this team that won it was going to win it, and I watched a lot of it, was Saints and Tampa Bay. That game was insane.
Good fantasy game.
Yeah, well, definitely on the fantasy game, but, I mean, think the Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I picked him up.
Well, I mean...
You're falling for it. I picked up Brian Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I was going to say. He does this.
Yeah.
He'll have these monster games, but he also has games that he'll throw four interceptions.
I'm pretty sure he threw 7 interceptions in one game because I started him that week in fantasy, and he had 7 interceptions. He had like -2 points.
He is the best guy that comes into different teams when they need a backup quarterback to step in.
Journeyman. He's the ultimate journeyman.
He is. But, hey, he's making money. He did well. That was an exciting game to watch. I will go ahead and say Dolphins 1-0. Great start.
That was an interesting game to watch. Didn't they stop that game? Because I was checking my fantasy, and they're like, how are they still playing this game?
Yeah, it started at noon, and then they didn't pick back up till like 6:30 or something at their times because just the weather delay. And then I think that's it on how the games kind of watched. I will say the Vikings and Green Bay game was crazy. Watching Aaron Rodgers go down and then him having to come back, it was pretty crazy to watch him come back with a 21 deficit. And then, I don't know how he does it, but he did it. So
he likes to stick it to NFC North teams.
Yeah, I guess
so. Like he'll stick the dagger in you and beat you in the worst possible way. The Vikings are kind of I like the Vikings. They
look good,
but they're kind of like the new lovable losers. They kind of remind me of the Red Sox a little bit before the Red Sox won the World Series in 2004, I think. But like it's a team like, come on, just do it already. Like get over the hump, and they lose on crazy ways. They lost in that one playoff game on a missed field goal that was like a chip shot. It was like 20-yard field goal, and they missed it. So it's like they're kind of the team I like to root for, even though they're always pretty good, but they never get over the hump. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of games. I was just checking the feeds throughout the day.
The Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yeah, Sam Darnold looked good. I mean, again, it's the first one, and God, Detroit looks awful.
Oh my! How many interceptions did he throw?
So that guy on the sideline came out, a defensive guy for Jets. I can't remember his name, but he's like, hey man, we knew every signal they were calling. That's why we did so well. I'm like, how do you know every signal they're calling? That's obviously on the coach right there.
Yeah, that Matt Patricia, right? He's a new coach there.
Yeah, I mean they just look terrible. I mean,
what is it with Belichick assistants? They never do well. Like you can't find one that does well as a head coach.
Because the dude runs everything over there. He might say that they do run the defense, but it's Belichick that runs everything. That's what happens. He's like, yeah, I mean, hey, I'm just gonna make you look good. Just stand out there.
I don't know about that.
I know about it. Look what happens. He's right.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't get
Stafford. He looked.
Well, and Stafford's one of those guys too that does the same thing. He'll have those games where he throws like 3 picks sometimes, but he'll also give you a game that has like 5 touchdowns with no picks. And he's just I like him because he's a gamer. I think he puts himself in situations sometimes where he makes these throws, but he's a gamer.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't get to watch a whole lot of the games, but my Cowboys looked really, really bad.
They did not look good, man.
They don't have a receiver, and apparently Dak can't throw the ball over 12 yards. Like, I guess he forgot how to do that. Like, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's supposed to be a Dak-friendly offense, but that wasn't a Dak-friendly offense.
The rumor here in Dallas is that Des Bryant was at a concert with Jerry Jones the other day, and they're going to re-sign him because they need another receiver.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I'm telling you right now.
Are you serious?
No,
Yeah,
that
that's-
ain't happening.
One of my friends at work is one of the biggest Cowboy fans I know, and he sent me a text about that. That's the rumor. I mean, he's not anywhere yet. I mean, why not come back for a little bit cheaper for one season?
Yeah,
The Cowboys.
well, he could.
He knows the offense. You know, it'd be really easy to get him back in there. But yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of the games, but I was really surprised. I was disappointed with the Cowboys. Surprised that the Browns were able to tie the Steelers, and it kind of embarrassed for the Lions, and the Bills looked really, really bad. Oakland looked bad, and I felt bad for Chucky because Khalil Mack, even though the Bears lost, Khalil Mack had a really, really good game.
He dominated.
It makes Chucky look pretty. John Gruden look pretty bad that he was just let him go. I'm still dumbfounded by that. I guess I didn't want to pay them. He was one of the best linebackers in the league, right? I'm still dumbfounded they let him go.
Khalil Mack?
Yeah, in his prime.
They just, from what I was reading on stuff, they just, or whatever Gruden was saying, they just could not offer what the Bears were offering him. But I was like, well, and some people have to say it has to do with their move going to Las Vegas. They just don't have the money to be able to. They're looking long term, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's actually not a bad point. Why pay Khalil Mack now in Oakland when you could get 3 picks for Las Vegas?
That's only what I've been reading on some articles. So that made sense. So
it's not a bad conspiracy theory.
yeah.
All right, so I've been kind of talking a little bit about fantasy. We've got about 5 minutes. I thought we could go through and just discuss like some of the players you are thinking is a good start or a bad start. We'll do a couple players, or 1 or 2 players you think is a good start this week, and 1 or 2 that are bad. Mace the fourth, you're looking at something right now. I'll start with you.
Probably looking at his.
I'm looking at my team to help me out on this. I mean, definitely for me. I mean, just looking at my roster, but I like him a lot too. Go ahead. Obviously you're going to start Kamara, but if there's like,
he had a huge week last week.
Yeah, but if there's someone you're looking to kind of hidden, it's the San Francisco running back Matt Breida, if I'm saying that right. San Francisco's playing Detroit. Detroit's looking so still on defense. They've already come out and said that Alfred Morris and Breida are going to start sharing because McKinnon's torn that ACL. I would look to start Matt Breida. I think that's his first name is Matt Breida, but his last name Breida. Especially in a PPR league. Someone I would try to avoid, I guess, quarterback-wise, man, Big Ben just doesn't look good right now. If you have someone else that can fill in for his shoes. That's like my little hidden pick right there is Breida.
Anybody to avoid that you can think of?
To avoid, God, not really. I mean, Derek Carr's at Denver, so I don't know if he'll be a hot start if you have him as a quarterback. Besides that, yeah, I would just avoid Derek Carr at Denver. Yeah, Derek Carr at Denver. I mean, at Denver, still a good defense.
We should go to that game. We're going to be there.
What day is that?
It's Sunday, I'm sure.
I'll be on the road. I'm driving.
All right, Mason third.
Well, I just want to mention that this first week I scored 161.4 points to lead our league.
Y'all both had the first and second amount of points in our league, right?
Yeah. And my guy is Barkley, Saquon Barkley. He's going to be a fantasy star. He's going to be in my wheelhouse.
Who are they playing next week?
I don't know who they're playing next week. Doesn't matter. He's going to continue to give me 15 plus points on that. And then
but is there someone hidden, like a hidden gem or like a
hidden gem? Man, it's too early. It's too early to go hidden gems, but I set Deshaun Jackson, and he was on my bench, and he scored. What did he score?
29
points.
He'll never score that again. I have Deshaun Jackson every year, and he does.
That's why he was on my bench.
Yeah.
And the Hill kid, the wide receiver.
Oh, Tyreek Hill. Yeah.
He did good for me, and I think he'll continue to do good for me. I think I might have screwed up with getting Deshaun Watson as my quarterback, but maybe not. Maybe
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think he'll turn it around.
I think you have to remember he came off a huge knee issue, and he's playing one of the best teams, best coaches.
Right. Yeah.
And he actually,
don't panic on him yet.
I wouldn't panic on him yet. No. All right.
What about you?
So one of the maybe I'll ask your advice on this one, but Adrian Peterson, I drafted him like in the 7th round or 8th round of our maybe later or draft, but
I got him in another league.
He had like 21 points in our league. He had a really good day. I think I might start him over Royce Freeman, Dion Lewis, or Josh Gordon as a flex, but I'm not sure what I should do there.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Indy, who's pretty bad.
For sure. Start Adrian Peterson.
Over who though? Over one of the over running the running backs or over Josh Gordon? Because
who are your running backs?
Royce Freeman and Dion Lewis.
Well, PPR league, keep Dion Lewis in there. Wait, where's Dion Lewis? He's still with the Patriots, right?
No, he's at Tennessee.
He's where?
Tennessee.
Man, I would say over one of the running backs.
The thing is, and I was talking to my buddy Justin about this, but he was like, you need to keep Adrian Peterson one more week and then trade him because he's going to go downhill from here.
He could. Yeah, that's true.
Because he's 33.
If I haven't really looked at their schedule either. I mean, I'm sure it gets harder because it's the Redskins, but if this is a game you're going to put him in and have him do something again, this would be it against Indianapolis, for sure.
Yeah. It might take Royce Freeman had a rough week the first week, so I might.
Freeman's Broncos, right?
Yes, he's there. He also split time.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing.
But they're playing Oakland.
Yeah, but I don't know. But with Adrian Peterson, he's going to give you the first, second down runs. And then they'll go to Chris Thompson if they need a dump pass or something like that,
I don't know. My team is so good, I just don't know who to start. That's the thing.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It's so good that I don't know, when you've got the best players, it's a situation where it's the GM has a difficult time deciding, how to win. How do I win this way? Do I win with this guy?
I think we all won our first game, right? Did everybody win?
Yeah, I'm undefeated in both leagues.
Oh, you just jinxed yourself, my friend. Now
I did. Now I'll probably go.
You play me in the other league.
I know.
All right, so we got three minutes left. Just about 3 minutes left. Mace the third. It's your turn again. What's one thing that needs to happen right now?
It's my turn again. Well, I was thinking I had a couple things I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about.
It's one thing that needs to happen.
I know, but I'm getting there. I was going to talk about Nick Saban and the media, I was all fired up talking to you about it. Then I was going to talk tennis, and I was going to talk Serena Williams, and I was all fired up about that. You saw all that.
Yeah, that'll be a great clickbait if you talk about that.
Yeah.
But then I decided, you know what? One thing that needs to happen is Texas Longhorns need to get tough. They need to get they people keep telling me they're soft. You know what? They are soft. They need to get tough. They need to have that. They don't have a leader. They need to have one guy to get on the board and just start going to town on everybody, right? Get tough.
Yeah.
You know that one guy that is on a team that just drives the team,
Mm-hmm.
You guys, can y'all think of one guy that drives a team on a team you've known in the past?
Like personally, or
not personally, just like that you've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Brady comes right to mind.
Well, there used to be a kid.
Who was that tight? Who was that tight end for Texas? David Thomas, was that his name?
Yeah.
He was a big one.
That guy never said anything, did anything, but that guy caught the ball every time and would take shots every time.
Yeah.
And he made Vince Young look good.
And that's a good example. So he led by his play, but I think what you're trying to say right now, Texas, is like they're missing someone who's just like, I don't want to say a dirty player, but just like who
the
lines
swag?
up. just a swag or something. Even on the sideline when it's not going right, that guy's in whatever position he's playing is in their face and saying, we're Texas. We step on this field. We're not losing. We can't lose to teams like Maryland. We can't have a close game to.
We can't be valued less than A&M, guys. We're losing it.
Yeah, exactly. But I understand what you're saying.
Didn't that one guy, was it Zach Thomas on Texas Tech, right? Zach Thomas?
A long time. That played for Dolphins. And,
he would go crazy on the field.
Yeah,
I remember. There's this. You don't see any of that. You see a lot of.
You have to have a good balance though, because you have to be able to go crazy and not get the penalty and
not. Well, no, I
go
understand
over the top.
that, but it seems like when you watch the team, they're always looking around, looking at their coaches, saying after every play, did I screw up? Am I coming out? No, forget that stuff.
Well, here's I think it's a good. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you know better on this. But a good example is Earl Campbell when he played. Right, Earl Campbell would run through people.
Yeah,
that fed to the teammates. Be like, dude, this guy's he ain't stopping. And
right,
he's working hard for every inch.
Right,
I'm going to do the same thing to make sure I am keeping up as much as I can with him.
Right,
but I just don't. I understand where you're looking at it because you look at Ellinger's play, you look at the offensive line's play, you're seeing it's still. I don't know if they're looking to the coach for approval. It's like, is this right? Is this good?
You do kind of see that. You do.
Am I doing this right? Instead of I know I'm doing it right, I'm going to get it done.
I got a good OU reference for you.
You're going to say the Boz.
No, not the Boz. He was no.
But he fired the team up.
Yeah,
they
rallied
around him, even though he's crazy.
I was thinking more Roy Williams.
That's
a good one too. Yeah,
and he was all over the place.
Yeah, he would.
And that's another one.
And I remember the shot. I think it was at in the end zone. He hit
Chris
someone
Sims.
long. Yeah, that's what it was. Chris Sims. He jumped over. But he would hit people, and you'd be like, "Damn, let's try to avoid his side."
Yeah.
But then the defense would see it and be like,
but it doesn't have to be on. It doesn't even.
I'm just saying
on the
both.
field. You got to have both.
Yeah. Or it could be any Alabama linebacker ever.
Yeah.
That's.
But they just don't. They got the talent. Obviously,
do they
have talent.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do.
I think here's kind of my thing about Texas, and I think it started with Mac Brown, in the Mac Brown's era, is they stopped recruiting the way old recruiting was. They went strictly on stars on rivals and this guy's highly rated.
Yeah.
This guy's highly rated. We need this. Right. And they're not doing the nitty-gritty going to high school. I don't know. I'm not involved in the recruiting at all. I don't know. But it seems like they're just picking the guys that have the big stars. And TCU over there, they're getting 2-star, 3-star guys and kicking Texas's butt every year. So there's something missing there in their recruiting. So
could it be a little coaching too?
The position
could be, yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Could it? Yeah. I mean, because Alabama gets the 4 and 5 stars every year. I mean, that's a
good point. Yeah. Maybe it's not the kid. It probably isn't the kids. You're changing my mind right now. Maybe it's not the kids. It's how they're developing those kids.
Well, I think that comes into play of how important position coaching is, by position.
Right.
I don't think you should shade off and be like, well, the most important offensive coordinators, head coaches, they're the ones that get paid the most. I think you better make sure you have a quality position coach that's going to deal with this guy day in and day out and give him the drills, the mindset to be successful.
I just want him to be tough again. I mean, I want him to, I don't know, Vince Young days when he used to take someone take the game over.
Vince Young's gone. He's never coming back. He's never coming back.
Why not?
Cole McCoy's not coming back either.
Please.
Ricky Williams, that's a good example.
Ricky Williams, yeah. I mean,
or Blake Gideon.
Blake Gideon, four times. I'm sorry, dude. That catch, 4-time starter.
That catch. That's all I know that guy for. He was okay, but man, that went right through his hands.
All right, well, we're over an hour, so I think this is good for the week. I think we might go live in Denver when we're there. I don't know. I'm talking high because I don't know.
Denver?
Why don't y'all just like our Facebook page and subscribe to YouTube? We might have a surprise live.
We need
in
more,
Denver.
On YouTube.
The biggest video is you crying about Texas losing right now.
Yeah, everybody was like, was he asleep or was he just drinking too much? I'm like...
All right, yeah. So like our Facebook page, Mace is Loaded. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Mace is Loaded.
There really is. We're going live in Denver, maybe.
It's a surprise.
We don't know.
Don't know.
Oh.
We don't know. We'll have a new camera crew there though. So
Yeah, we will. I have a new camera crew.
all right, but and then just like coming up, I mean, we might need to start talking a little bit about baseball in the next episodes because we've got October baseball, which is really the only time I watch baseball now is in October.
Yeah. Actually, too, if our listeners or whatever out there, just if y'all ever want to comment of something for us to talk about, post it on our Facebook page. We'll bring it up, talk about it. I mean, we'd love to hear different things and stuff. So post it.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page if you want to get notifications. But we gone.
We go. Hook 'em hard.